Greetings and welcome to Rasta Wife Line. This is Sister Ayla Adis. Today, I want to just start by saying thank you to all the sisters who have already subscribed and who already follow my Instagram page, which is Rasta Wife Line. Thank you so much for your encouraging words, and I'm really grateful that I've been able to help you along your journey through Rasta Wife Line Blogspot and my channel, the old channel, throughout the years. It really means a lot to feel the love of the sistren, and I look forward to sharing more videos in time to come. So today's reasoning is about defeating burnout. It's something that all women battle with, and by defeating, I mean, taking control of the situation, of how we feel, our emotions, our minds, how we think, and our bodies, so that we can feel better about ourselves and manage our daily tasks with a positive, peaceful, and energetic mindset. As we all know, the life of a Rasta Mama can be hard in the sense that I have so many tasks to accomplish in a day. We run ourselves ragged. We wear our minds, our irids, and our bodies thin, taking care of everyone else and our jobs and our houses, that we tend to neglect ourselves. We always put ourselves last. So the reality is that if we do not take proper care of ourselves, that we will not only find ourselves sinking into a depression and a defeated mentality, but we will also become ill and much less productive. We will find ourselves short-tempered and impatient with others, or on the flip side, we'll become lethargic and lacking motivation to get anything done. So we simply cannot be everything to everyone or do everything for everyone and never tend to our own needs. And the biggest need we may have on any given day is just time for ourselves to just take a moment of respite and to just rejuvenate, regroup, or to just think. So while it may be hard to financially give ourselves what we need, there's still many things that we can do to give ourselves a boost on a daily basis or a weekly basis. So the following are, again, 14 tips that I have put together, some of which I would have mentioned on the blog spot a few years back when I posted about saying no to burnout. So you can check that post on rastawifeline.blogspot.com if you want to see what I wrote about then. And that was from a personal feeling at the time of, just feeling overwhelmed and realizing that, it's just something that we all feel, but we never really talk about because for some reason, we might feel ashamed about it. No woman really wants to come across as weak or unable to manage the life that she has chosen. But we all have those good and bad days, and it's okay. What is not okay is to allow ourselves to just continue to sink lower and lower into that feeling. We have to really defeat it. So while these 14 tips are not anything new, I still find it necessary for them to be said to hopefully give ones that reminder and that extra push that we all need sometimes. So the first tip for combating burnout is to get more rest, to get more sleep. It's an obvious one, but how easy is it for us to truly get proper rest? It's not. I myself barely average 5 to 6 hours on weeknights, but I do make up for that on weekends, by sleeping a little later. Getting more rest is hard when you have children and a home business, because if you're like me, when nighttime falls, now is the time for me to start working, crocheting hats, making lock caps, whatever my orders are for any given day. I usually make it to bed around 1 o'clock in the morning. And if you have a job, when you come home, it's time to make dinner, see about homework, do chores, wash laundry. You rarely get time to relax enough that you could consider it rest. So it's a never ending cycle of things to be done each day from woman to woman. It varies, but we all have that go, 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 go from the time we wake up till we finally get to bed. So it's necessary to set boundaries for yourself in taking control over burnout. If you want more rest, stick to a set bedtime regardless of what needs to be done. Or if you're home with the youths all day, have an established nap time where everybody takes a rest. Instead of using that time to clean and cook and wash, get some sleep. If you have to work at nights, a nap in the afternoon, say between 3 to 5 o'clock, is key to putting in those late hours. For me, those are the hours when I actually start crashing, and I'm fortunate now that my children are old enough that I could take an hour or an hour and a half and leave them to, play their video games, do whatever it is that they want to do. It doesn't happen every day, but I try to give in rather than resist and find something else I know that needs doing. I really try to give in when my body says, okay, I just need an hour to shut down. And when I had my first child, my mother said to me, when baby is sleeping, you are supposed to sleep. And it's true. We have to take the time, no matter if it's 15 minutes, we just have to take it. So we have to really make the time to rest. There's enough hours in the day that we can find time to rest. We all know that when a child is tired, they're cranky, they're moody, they're hard to work with, and the same thing goes for adults. The body needs to rest regularly. So even though we need to rest to keep the body functioning properly, we also need enough exercise. So the second tip is to get enough exercise. The body needs proper movement at least 3 to 4 times a week to keep your organs in good health, to flush out toxins, to keep the muscles toned and strong, and most of all, to keep the mind clear. Exercise is our chance to just cleanse out all the toxins in our bodies as well as the negative energy. Exercise literally burns off the burnout. I personally love to do workouts with Afri Fitness on YouTube. Then I will cool down with a little yoga stretching afterwards. Moving to Afro beats is how I like to exercise. But as a family, we also do walking in a car park, which is at the stadium close to where we live. My children like to ride their bikes. And when it was legal to go to the beach, I used to like to take a solitary jog on the sand. When he could go to the gym, my king man loved doing that. That was his time to detox and just get his time away and regroup. But with things as they are globally, we haven't really been able to do this. So I rely on YouTube and what we can do at home and the little bit of writing that the children can do. So for those moms with the babies, you can still get something done. You can push baby in the stroller while you take a walk around the neighborhood if that's all you have. You can let the little ones ride. You can strap them to your chest. You can go swimming. You can play sports together. There are a million ways that we can find a way to exercise, and it's good for everyone in the family. And to that, I will add dance and singing. Dance is the best way to de-stress, and singing is also a great way to just, pour yourself into something else. It's like an escape. I personally love to put on my favorite music when I'm working or when I'm cooking or I'm doing heavy cleaning, like dusting the cupboards and stuff. I love to dance alone in my room to Afro beats, and I have a playlist if you're interested on my Isla Designs channel of all my favorite Afro beats. I also love doing Queen Afua's womb dance, which also is a very sacred movement. And when we think about African women and tradition, dance and singing are a very strong part of African culture. And it has always been a way that young women learn their role and learn their place in the community, and it's a form of personal development. So whether you like to do your own dances, make up your own songs, whether you're musically inclined or not, just make it part of what makes you happy, on a daily basis. And I know many of us can attest to that, and loving to put on Desiree and Midnight and Bob Marley and that kind of stuff. So, use song and dance as a way to release your stress, as a way to up your moods and boost your energy and your feel good emotions. It's also a great family activity, and if you can play instruments, that's even better. The third tip is to eat well, have a solid levity. It is important never to miss meals unless you're fasting. Missing a meal can make you cranky, lethargic, unable to focus or think. You can't give your best to any task when your mind is foggy. Missing meals also brings on low blood sugar, which can cause you to faint or literally crash, which is very dangerous for you, especially if you're home alone with children. Eating well involves the right foods also. Make sure that you can have smoothies and cold pressed juices regularly, salads, soups, healthy grains, and lots of water, at least a liter a day, which is hard, but try your best to remember to drink water often. Also, make sure that you take supplements to keep your minerals and vitamins up. B12 deficiency can actually make you feel very weak and sick on a daily basis, which is something that I had a personal experience with back in 2016. I was just feeling crappy every single day, only to figure out through blood tests that it was B12 that I was lacking. And as a vegan or someone who doesn't eat animal products, remember that you will naturally lack in B12. So make sure to definitely take some kind of supplement every day. It's also important to full joy your mealtime preparation. Make meals that make you feel happy and excited to eat and cook. And do that with the family if you can. Get everybody excited about eating Aito. The fourth tip is to carve out time for yourself without any distractions or interruptions. It is most necessary to have me time each week if you can't find it daily. During this time, you can meditate or exercise, take a walk or swim, do something that brings peace of mind to you and helps you calm yourself. But really, this is also a time, especially if you don't have much time to begin with, use that me time, that quiet time, to reflect on things so that you can sort them out for yourself. Me time is a time taken to truly get control mentally over the stresses in your life. I recommend journaling to get all your feelings down, but also to get all the solutions down. During quiet time, make a list of all the things which are causing burnout, and then make another list of how you plan to solve these problems. Seeing the problem and the solution together gives a sense of empowerment over the situation. It allows you to also try to figure out what the real issues are so that you can determine the best steps to take to fix them. You can allocate the right amount of time or money to solving these issues. Writing things down also brings a clearer perspective, and you may find out that things are more in your control than you thought. Clearing a rational space in your mind helps you to exercise a can-do attitude. During this quiet time, a second activity that is beneficial is to also write your problems down on a piece of paper and then burn it. As you burn these papers, you are releasing these problems from your body and mind. You're taking action against the things which are wearing you down. You're burning them out of your system. You're clearing the way for proactive behavior and thoughts. The fifth tip to conquer burnout can be done during your me time as well, which is to pamper yourself, love on yourself. You can take a warm bath with bath bombs or essential oils like lavender and rose. You can take a hot shower, wash your hair, exfoliate your skin, scrub the toxins out, apply a face mask, clip your nails, do an overall ritual that will have you feeling refreshed and beautiful and ready to face the world again. If you can afford it, go to a spa or a wellness center or employ a sister Who does facials and massage? Get a manicure and pedicure, or do it on yourself. Get your hair done or do it yourself. Buy or make something new for yourself. Treat yourself to a gift. Try a new style. Dress up even if you have nowhere to go. Just feel beautiful and special in your body. Feel rejuvenated in your body. And it's also important during this pampering to look in the mirror and affirm positive things to yourself. Say, I love you. You're beautiful. You're successful. You're smart. You can do anything that you want to do. You're going to make more money. You're going to plant that garden. You're going to learn how to do this new skill. You're going to get control over a relationship that might be giving problems. Whatever it is that you desire, or whatever it is that you need, you have to affirm it to yourself in the mirror and smile with your reflection. As crazy as it sounds, it's such an important thing to have a true love of yourself and to feel like you're really taking care of yourself and that you know yourself and what you need for yourself. It's important to be confident and to be radiant just to get through the day and just to have a positive mentality. You have to feel good about yourself. The sixth way to defeat burnout is an extension of self-love. Have a personal passion. Get a hobby, read more, learn a new skill. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, make time for that thing on a daily basis if you can, or at least a weekly basis. If you're a creative person or you're simply trying to find something that you're good at, which can be a new business venture, learning a new skill is edifying to that desire. It builds your confidence, it builds your joy. You can make music, you can garden, you can create new recipes, you can design something, read more books in whatever genre you like. I personally love reading novels just as much as I love reading history books or comparative religion or books about His Majesty. Reading is my number one joy alongside writing, and I make time for these things on a daily basis, even if it's just half an hour before bed or half an hour in the morning before I get started with school and all of that stuff. I really try to make time daily just to do that, just to escape. So if you don't already have a personal passion, you make time to find one and you full joy the process of excelling at that or just making the most of it. The seventh tip is to have a change of scenery. Travel or spend a few nights away from home. If you can go to the beach side or camping or even rent a hotel room for one night, just do it. Just being away from home or from work can give you the space that you need to refresh your mind and your body. Many sisters are holding retreats now where you can get rest and rejuvenation and you can partake in healing exercises. For those who can afford to do it, you should do it. Or if you can get your sister together to have one, do that. Go visit family as a cheaper alternative, or spend a couple nights by a friend who might live in the countryside or even in the town, someplace opposite to where you live. The eighth recommendation, for when you really can't seem to find your footing and you really find yourself struggling just to even set things right for yourself, I recommend seeking counseling. Sometimes it's necessary to just get professional help from someone that you can trust and that someone that you know you can vouch for their counseling skills. It could be an elder, a priest, a professional therapist. Talk to someone who can actually give you constructive advice and help you put a plan in place to deal with your depression, or even a dietitian might be able to help you get your body back on track if it is that you're suffering with illnesses. Just seek professional help from whoever that you can afford to get it from. It's not about feeling ashamed. It's not about ignoring these problems, thinking that they'll just go away on their own. If you need the help, just get it. There's no shame in that. Not when your entire survival really depends on it. We all need guidance and reassurance at some point in our lives. We all need help in clearing the fog. sometimes. A neutral opinion can give clarity or the push that we need to just get actively involved in fixing our problems. We simply have to trust in the process and try not to resist taking the necessary steps towards our goals. While many of us use cannabis, whether it's THC or CBD, to manage stress levels, or even you can use the herb ashwagandha, which helps with relieving stress, it's important to actively remedy the problem itself. You don't just put a balm over it with something that makes you feel good. You talk it through, you state your issues truthfully, and you find yourself ready to just take control of your thoughts and your actions. And sometimes the people you want to lean on the most, or the people that you trust the most, are your girlfriends, your sister, your cousin, your friend, your auntie, your grandma, or your mom. They know what it's like and they can identify in some way. So the ninth tip is a girls' night. Whether you go out to an event together or whether you simply stay in and have a good food, good music, you pamper yourselves together, you spend some time talking about issues, that grounding with the feminine energy as a woman is very important that we have that. And again, that's another African tradition where women spend a lot of time together, whether it's in working in the fields, whether it's in taking care of the children, creating items that they sell or items for their homes. It's always a communal act. So it's important to spend time with that feminine energy. And Rasta Wifeline, the reason why I created this space is because of that. Because when I was starting out Rastafari, I didn't have sistren that I could talk to and people who could teach me about certain things. So that's why I created this channel, to be that sounding board for sistren and to be that person that's there. Even though I might not know you personally, I might not know what's going on in your life, I just hope that what I have to say could still help you do what you have to do. I just want to be a help to sistren out there. So spend time with those who you feel comfortable with, and let them make you feel good about yourself. Don't be afraid to speak to them about what bothers you and to get their advice. Just this week, I was talking to one of my longtime friends from secondary school who I have not seen in so many years. I was just telling her about some of my issues with my business and how hard it was for me to do social media and needing money to do things that I know I need to boost my business, and just being able to offload on her and to have her encourage me. Sometimes that's all we need, someone to just listen, just so that we can get it out there. So my 10th tip is also to ask for help. If you need help getting things done, ask for help. And I'm not just talking about seeking counseling, I'm talking about the physical. A lot of our burnout is because we have so much things to physically do every day. So if you need help at work, ask for it. If you need help cleaning your house, your car, weeding the garden, cleaning up the yard, washing the windows, painting the house, sorting through old things, what needs to be thrown away, what needs to be donated, cleaning out the cupboards, the kitchen, just ask for help. If you have to pay for it and you can afford to pay for it, pay for it. Hire your cousin, hire a friend who needs the money because they might be out of work or something. Don't feel like you have to do it all by yourself all the time. Especially for mamas who are single parents, don't forget that you can ask for help or you can pay for help if you need to. If you have a king man, you can ask him for help too. If you know you need him to step up and do things around the house, or to simply just take the children out of the house for a little while just so that you can get things done, or just get a little hour to sleep, just ask. Ask him for what you need. Speak up and make it known. Don't just assume that he should know better. Sometimes you really just have to say, look, babe, I need such and such from you today. just do it. You have a right to ask for what you need, and there is no need that is too small or too big. You just state your wants and be willing to receive that help, free of judgment. The 11th tip is to set boundaries. Are there people who are causing you stress in your life? Are there people who actually contribute to your burnout? Do you live with people that make you feel like you're carrying the load all by yourself? If that's the reason why you're suffering with burnout half the time, you need to set boundaries in that relationship and how you react, how you interact with them. Set boundaries around the way that they treat you. Do not continuously put yourself in situations which leave you feeling defeated and stressed or angry. Sometimes relationships can be toxic and it causes stress. So your living space especially is a sacred space. And you cannot feel good about yourself on a daily basis if the vibes in your home feel off. So you have to do something about it. You have to speak your truth in a respectful manner and state what you need to change. You have to establish the need for positivity, make them aware of the problem, and give them a chance to contribute to the solution. Have an earnest conversation, not an argument, but just a reasoning. Even your children, our children sometimes need boundaries. Their ages obviously will depend on how we can go about setting that, whether it's just by establishing a routine or enforcing a little more discipline, enforcing a little more chores. Once they're old enough to comprehend, we really have to speak to them in a calm manner and explain to them how we feel as mothers, as parents, because I think that a lot of the time our children forget that we have needs too and we have feelings too, and that we are not superwoman or superman. They take it for granted that mommy and daddy will always be there to do this and do that. As soon as they need something, they come asking for it. A lot of children tend to stick to you to do everything for them. While there are independent children who like to do things for themselves, a lot of children are not like that. So it's important that we let them see that we too need them to be considerate of our feelings and our wants. We have to establish that, and just doing that and establishing the need for cooperation from them in the home, it helps them to really see their role better, and it helps them to mature as they grow, and it helps them to understand that the family is a unit, that everybody has to play their part to make everyone else happy. It doesn't just go from parents to children. It's give and take. So the 12th tip is to also readjust your mindset. Readjust your mindset. Readjusting our mindset applies to many different situations, obviously. While people do or say things in insensitive ways that make us feel stressed or burdened, we ourselves are responsible for how we feel in response to that and what we do about it. It is our job to turn the negative emotions and thoughts into positives. We must watch our thoughts and reactions and never let them get out of hand. We must learn to focus on our own inner strengths and our own intelligence to solve any issues that we have. We must remember that fear is an emotion that can be controlled with rational thoughts and positive action. So we can object to the critical comments or insensitive behaviors of others, and we will butt heads with other people. We cannot live a life where everything is always a bed of roses, right? But we also cannot have a mindset where we are afraid of other people, or we think to ourselves, no one loves me, no one cares about me, everyone is out to get me, the world is against me. We cannot have that defeatist mentality, because disappointment is a way of life. No matter how happy you are, there are going to be good days and bad days. So we just have to let them pass without holding on to all the disappointment, keeping it inside. We have to release it when the moment passes. We have to learn from the experience, and then we will know how to deal with it better in the future. We can train ourselves to maintain control over our reactions to disappointments. So we might feel burnout, we might feel frustrated and flustered when things are going wrong in our lives, but we have to remember that keeping the right mindset usually is the root of a solution. And the 13th way to prevent burnout or to relieve it is, of course, to pray and worship. In whatever way that you do this, you take the time to speak to the universe, to commune with Jah. You take the time to pour out your soul and submit to that higher power of creation. We take time to worship and we give thanks for all that we have. We show gratitude for all that we have. And we release all of our worries when we pray and we worship. We allow ourselves to release our burdens to Jah and have faith that there is a spiritual support system that is protecting us and holding our hand and guiding us along the way. We are never alone in this life. We have to remember that. We are blessed. We are divine creations, and there's nothing in the world that could take away our power to create the life that we want to live or the person that we want to become. Reading spiritual books, self-help books, or just reading the scriptures, those are sure ways of being reminded of mercy and grace and how worthy we are of being loved and protected. And finally, the 14th tip to combating burnout is to keep going. To just keep going. Like Dory says in Finding Nemo, just keep swimming. Keep going no matter how burnt out or how beaten down you feel. Those feelings are temporary. Always remember that it's a temporary thing. Joy is forever. Pain is temporary. You have simply just got to be proactive and take the steps to change things yourself. The power is in your hands to turn things around from bad to good or negative to positive. And everything that I've mentioned so far is basically a way to do this. To set boundaries, change your mindset, love yourself, take care of yourself. All of this means you just keep going. You counteract the negativity. You just keep going. You get it right, you put your plans into motion, and you change things for the better. You can reset your home life, you can reset your work life, you can reset your thoughts, you can reset your actions. You just have to keep going and never give up on yourself or the people that you spend your time with, the people that you love. Sharing your positive mindset and your can-do attitude inspires others to be better and to feel better about themselves as well. Always remember the power of a smile, of a hug, of a positive, encouraging word. Help others to keep going the same way how you need help sometimes to keep going. So explaining your actions of self-care and the need for boundaries or sharing responsibilities with your children is also necessary for them to learn and to mature too. You have to teach them how to keep going and to always see their way through a problem. Never let them feel like I can't do this, I don't know how to do this, I'm not good at this. Children love to give up. Some children really love it, to immediately complain and to just think, okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing, that's it. We have to remember to teach them to be resilient, to teach them to be, to have perseverance, to just never give up. How else can I really say it? So just remember to always speak positively to yourself, about yourself, and the same goes for others. So you just keep going and you never give up on yourself. And that is really the most important thing. We all feel burned out, we all feel stressed at some point, but it doesn't mean that we just lie down and take it. We are always in control and we are always capable. It doesn't require money. It doesn't require some grand gesture. It can always just start small and you just keep building. The most important thing is to always have your mind where it needs to be. So I really hope that these 14 tips are helpful and that the reminder is inspiring you and encouraging you to just sit down and take a moment to sort things out for yourself. Make that list. Make that list of all the things that you need to get control of, all the things that are burning you out and stressing you out, and make that second list of the solutions. How are you going to solve these problems for yourself? And I guarantee that when you do that, you're going to feel invigorated, you're going to feel capable, and you're going to feel more at peace and more calm in yourself because you have a plan, or at least you've acknowledged what the issues are and acknowledge that they exist, and are acknowledging that there is something that you can do about it. So give thanks for listening, and I want to remind the sister that I do have homeschool worksheets available. I sell them on teacherspayteachers.com. Rasta Homeschool is the name of the shop. And I also sell directly from my website, which is my preferred means for you to purchase, because that way I actually get the whole sale, whereas on Teachers Pay Teachers I only get a very tiny percent of the cost. They're there, math and phonics and letter sounds and that kind of stuff, more for the pre-K, K, grade 1 age groups. And I'm currently working on some grammar for pre-K and kindergarten and some comprehension. So over the next few weeks I'll be focusing on those to put them up on the site as well. If ever you need to message me about anything, rastawifeline@gmail.com. And I give thanks, and I want you all to take care and to be healthy, be happy, be whole, be calm, be mindful. Please be mindful of yourself and what you need, and take that time to take care of yourself. Blessed love.